In this presentation, I will be looking at the Shakespeare tragedy Othello. I will be analysing the main characters in relation to their construction or deconstruction of the nation and nationhood. Nationhood is defined as the state or quality of having status as a separate and independent nation. I will be using setting, key themes, and plot devices to determine this. Written in 1603, Othello is a tragedy by William Shakespeare that follows two central characters, Othello and Iago. Othello is referred to by the term Moor due to his skin colour, but his ethnic origin remains ambiguous. It can be noted, though, that characters described as Moors were rarely highlighted in contemporary theatre. In addition, none were given as a heroic role as Othello. Despite being referred to only in racial terms by many characters in the play, Othello is a general in the Venetian military. He is envied by ensign Iago for promoting another soldier, Cassio, above him, and begins a plot to take revenge against him, using his wife, Desdemona, as bait. This tragedy contains many themes such as jealousy, race, love, betrayal, and revenge. In order to discuss the construction of Othello's nationhood, it is important to think about why it is set in Cyprus and Venice and not in England. Statistically, Venice was and remains to this day a predominantly white city. Set in the 16th century, amidst the wars between Venice and Turkey, Cyprus acted as a Venetian outpost attacked by the Turks in 1570, and later conquered. As a black man, Othello is scrutinized harshly on his actions more than any white man or woman. Due to his military reputation as a general, Othello is respected, and some characters discuss his bravery in the war. For example, the quote used in Act 1, "Opinion, a sovereign mistress of effects, throws a more safer voice on you," is used to describe how other soldiers feel safe when they know they are with him. Venice supplies the natural domain for Othello to be both admired and loathed. It is still unexpected that Othello should marry Desdemona due to her race as a white woman and her status as the daughter of a senator. Venice also frames Desdemona's nationhood. Known for its prostitutes, Venice was also where Desdemona was raised, and when Iago convinces him that she has been unfaithful, it is easier for Othello to trust this information as he knows it is ingrained in the culture she grew up with. On the other hand, the setting of Cyprus helps ignite the theme of love in Othello. Cyprus is known to be one of the places held dear by the goddess of love, Venus. In this setting, Othello and Desdemona's relationship thrives. This can be seen in Act 3 when Othello states, "Excellent wretch, petition catch my soul, but I do love thee, and when I love thee not, chaos is come again." This is of course foreshadowing the eventuality that their happiness must end, as he is sent to fight in Cyprus. Both settings allude to the idea of impending doom, and it could be argued that the basis of Othello and Desdemona's nationhood is down to their settings in Venice and Cyprus. Moreover, how a character deals with jealousy is also a way in which to discuss the deconstruction or construction of their nationhood. There are three kinds of jealousy portrayed in Othello: jealousy of destruction, professional jealousy, and sexual jealousy. Firstly, one of the ways Shakespeare alludes to the idea of tragedy in Othello is to make sure that none of the characters are satisfied by their actions, consumed by jealousy. Iago continues to plot against Cassio, even though he knows he is driving Othello mad. Othello's jealous thoughts are characterized by references to hurting Desdemona. For example, chop her into messes. We slowly see the deconstruction of Othello's identity after his jealousy has been proved false and he is unable to live with himself. Secondly, Iago embodies one of the 7 sins of envy, which plays out his professional jealousy. He envies Cassio as he is promoted to a post Iago has set his sights on. As well as this, Iago envies Cassio's social status and superior manners. This leads to his own deconstruction of identity, as he believes Cassio must be destroyed because of the daily beauty in his life. That makes me ugly. Thirdly, sexual jealousy can be seen in the characters of Bianca, Othello, and Iago. Unlike Iago, Bianca and Othello's sexual jealousy is a response to the strong feelings of love when they believe their partners have been unfaithful. This is why Othello insists on proof he has been cuckolded. Othello's sexual jealousy overpowers him, leaving him feeling humiliated, eventually killing his wife because of the misplaced handkerchief. Iago calculates when to act on his suspicions. He is prompted by competitiveness and possessiveness. This can be seen in the quote, "The lusty Moor has leapt into my seat." In addition, we can depict the construction of the character of Othello in Shakespeare's tragedy by looking closely at an illness that no other character is affected by: epilepsy. During Act 4 of the play, and after hearing devastating news about the handkerchief, Othello falls to the ground and is believed to have an attack of epilepsy. This is indicated by the stage directions, "He falls," and Iago's line, "My lord has fallen into an epilepsy." At first, I was confused as to why Shakespeare would choose for Othello to fall into this state. I questioned why he would want Othello to be stricken with an illness at the thought of his unfaithful wife. I then realised that Shakespeare wanted the audience to know how much Desdemona did mean to him. Other married men in 16th century would be concerned with adultery. However, Othello's relationship with Desdemona means much more than common law marriage. Their relationship has had to withstand the judgment of the nation as a whole, as it was an interracial elopement. Shakespeare does not want to portray Othello as weak, but he does want to portray Desdemona as his weakness. In conclusion, Othello is a text set in the 16th century, which focuses on issues of race, war, love, and jealousy. Throughout the play, we see all the main characters transformed by jealousy and have their morals questioned. Despite his better conscience to get proof of his wife's adultery, he believes Iago and kills Desdemona. The audience's first impressions of him are of a figure of authority who is respected. However, he loses his identity because of his love for Desdemona and his trust in Iago. Iago is driven by jealousy of Cassio to orchestrate the fall of Othello. He does not let the jealousy fester into anger and instead calculates his revenge. His refusal to speak about his actions render him emotionless to Desdemona's, Othello's, and Emilia's deaths.